Hey everybody, how you doing? Mark here, staying in my kitchen, ready to make dinner yet again tonight, but this time it's only for myself. This has really been a change in our lives around here. Ever since Sam and Tim moved out and got their own apartment, now Jen's working tonight, Vic is working late, so she's not here for dinner. It's literally just myself. So I'm not doubling or tripling a recipe for dinner or anything like that. This is a recipe I found that, yeah, it's basically just for like one, maybe two people. So let's get into this. I got everything laid out on the counter and I'll show you exactly what we're gonna do. Okay, the first thing we need is an 8-ounce can of oysters. We're gonna need 4 ounces of mushrooms, about a half a cup of a julienne green pepper, a teaspoon of garlic powder, a tablespoon of parsley flakes, and then salt and pepper to taste. And I got about a cup and a half or so of a penne ricotta noodle. Okay, so I've got a pot of water here on my stove and I am going to turn that onto high and get it boiling because we got to cook off those noodles. But in the meantime, let's get some of that vegetation cut up. All right, so the first thing I need to do is I need to cut up some mushrooms. Now I don't need, perfect slices or anything like that, just bits and chunks. So I could just do this and just kind of give it a rough chop. Okay, so there's all my mushrooms cut up and I'm just going to dump them right in this little bowl. Now I'm going to do a green onion. I'm going to chop off one end, chop off the stem end. I can pull the stem right out, just like that. I'm going to pull out all the core, the seeds, the stems, everything. Just like that. I'm going to cut it in about thirds. It lays a little flatter if you do it this way. And now all I'm going to do is just cut strips. They don't have to be precise. And that's all I'm going to need. I just need that bit right there. This stuff here I will set aside. I can use it to make chili, put it in a salad, whatever. I'm going to put these in with the mushrooms. Okay, now for the oysters, I'm going to crack this open. And I want to reserve the liquid. So I'm just going to literally pull out all the oysters. I suppose technically you could do this whole. You could do this with whole oysters if you wanted to. All right, so I got all the oysters out, and now I'm just going to literally rough chop these just like I did with the mushrooms. Just like that. That's all I needed to do. I'm going to put the mushrooms in the bowl as well, or the oysters. Put that in the bowl too. I am going to use the liquid that's still in the can, but I'm not going to pour it in the bowl. I'm just going to keep it in the can for now. I got that chopping done so quick that my pot hasn't even boiled yet. Okay, my water's boiling. Just throw in my cup and a half of uncooked pasta, stir it in. I am going to take the temperature down to about a medium high My my numbers going around are basically 1 through 10, and I'm putting it on 8, so a medium high. Now I'm just cooking off the pasta per the manufacturer's instructions. So I'm going to boil these for like 10 minutes. Okay, my pasta is, I'm going to say, close to halfway done. So now I've got my pot here, and this is where I'm going to cook off everything else. I'm going to set that on a lower end of the medium-high range. I'm just above medium. I'm going to throw in the mushrooms, green pepper, and oysters. Get all that in there. I'm going to add the remaining water from the can of oysters. I need 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. Now this is actually my homemade smoked garlic powder. And then I'm going to need 1 tablespoon of parsley flakes. Now the only thing I have left to add is the salt and pepper. I'll add those to taste once the dish is done. Just a couple more minutes on the pasta, I think. All right. Just coming in, and I'm just stirring it every so often. There's still a good amount of liquid in here. Okay, so the mushrooms and the peppers are releasing moisture, and it's mixing with that clam juice that was from the can. And look at this, it's making this nice little gravy, a little sauce in there. It's really nice. All right, I'm going to say 1 more minute for the pasta. And in case you're wondering too, I have no worries about stirring my pasta with the same spoon that I'm stirring this with. If anything, it's going to season and flavor the pasta with what I've already got in this pot. So yeah, I have no problems going from one pan to the other. Okay. All right, I'm going to say that my pasta is done. I'm going to kill the heat on that and drain it off. I'm also going to say that my clams are done. So I'm going to take the pasta, just throw it right into the same pot and just stir it in. Man, this is actually a lot of food here. It's actually more than I thought. I've never made this dish before, so I didn't realize how big this was going to get. Oh, check that out. That looks good. There you go, guys. We'll just call this oyster penne. How about that? Let's give a little taste here. A little bit of pepper on there too. And the secret to making this, gotta be very careful not to overcook it. The clams can get very chewy if they're overcooked, but you don't want the texture of the peppers to be just complete mush either. I'm going to say that it needs about a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. Just sprinkle it on, and literally just a sprinkling of salt, not much. Okay, now I'm just going to stir that in real quick. God, it's good. So simple, so quick. Literally, you saw everything I did, and very little was actually cut out of this video. Now, I think I cut out a little bit while I was waiting for the pasta to cook before I actually started making the dish. But once you saw it on the stove, I cut out almost nothing. It just took a few minutes. All right, well, this is Mark saying thanks again for watching. I hope you guys try this one. Something a little different, both for the video, the channel, and my diet. This is actually really good. Thanks, guys. See you on the road.